Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Lost Chevalier. You're welcome back to Roadwarden. Let's continue, shall we? Let's go. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without a hassle, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell, like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your host is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you left them. You see an open gate. I go outside to see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirts looks at it contemplatively. Tulia is the first one to address you. Eso, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belonged to a male or a female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter. A young one. She latched the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now, it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each passing soul it devours, and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village majors, even roadwardens. Making a large fire takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most units hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. Running away from the rig, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Asterion. There is enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop, an old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales. But yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this one you are going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre. I prepare myself for the journey. You somehow miss the fact that your mouth is already saddled and warmed up. God damn it, I need to... Wait a second. There we go. Saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make sure... Use the travel button to see the map. Your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Then get in the saddle. The palfrey Nicholas ready to leave. It is time for you to get to the crossroads. North from here. Travel. Ooh, interesting map. I like it. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia to return to Hoblavan. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffons. They are larger than foxes and merge the features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they are too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, growling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. I consider my options. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the ticket will be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main road as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually, the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up a couple hours. You are thinking about your conversation with Tulia. You got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. If you have any vitality points, you can use the warrior training to access unique interactions. This is vitality, right? Vitality, nourishment, armor, appearance. Okay, Force. As an experienced warrior, you gain advantages during physical struggles. I take my ass and hurry the horse. If we ride fast enough, we should be fine. I grab my crossbow. A light hit should be enough to make them scatter. I will take this one. Crossbows are an easy weapon to use. You can learn more about your abilities in the character sheet. Okay. Are to use, and you got plenty of time to aim. The creature falls on the side and screams, alerting its companions. Confused, they look around, and after a while, they run away. One of them limping, with your quarrel in its teeth. Let me see the character sheet. Ezok the Roadwarden. After years of training to become a fighter, to help the local villagers and make a region safer for the locals and newcomers alike. When your vitality is above 0, you find ways to overcome physical struggles. Advanced training. You have an advantage during physical interactions that involve random chance. Okay. Appearance. You can buy yourself in safe water resources. You will do so more efficiently with special equipment. Okay. Regular vitality. Your clothes need no special repairs. Your clothes are not stained with blood. You got a regular outfit. Combat experience. Spared animals. Depending on your beliefs, saving and sparing animals either makes you a weakling or soothes your soul. Combat experience. Religion pagan. You have a strong connection to nature and spirits. Your banished traditions are forbidden in the 10 cities and seen by some as sinister and treacherous. Fate. The strength of your religious conviction is a measure of your actions. Adjustment. Lies, none. Sewer experience, none. Gambling experience, none. Ah, there is a lot of things. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, I ride forward. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write, for folks who can't read. Covered in all red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. Okay. So... east, so the left. Blood there. There is much soul to ask for guidance. I look at my horse. Oh! Roach. Confirm. Roach is peacefully as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can help you choose a path, but you have spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Oh, I can travel. Explore west, explore east. Let's explore west. Roach trots with ease, unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your palfrey enters as a canter, the beasts don't even begin to pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower, taller than the trees. It must be the inn I have heard about. Inns like this one fit the regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers, guarded by expensive mercenaries, surely live for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labor put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They are leaning on the parallel right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They were gambesons, each of them dyed differently, yellow, green, and lined gray. I approach the gate. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has a long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination of color doesn't work at all. In the woods, one could have shouted to drown this much attention. There is still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I haven't seen a horse for years now. I just say that it's weird to see such a large jackass, huh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of villagers spread around Hob Laban. But no jackass will wear a saddle, I do say. She exchanged a few words with a male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says there really are donkeys and saddles. Say, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? I laugh. You wouldn't believe it. The lessons were a pain. You get off your horse and imitate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey, when your whole shelf was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move your hand from the back to your hips, then thighs. In return, the guards tell you about what time when they had to carry their friend with beaten off legs for 3 days straight through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guards open the gate. You may be in a good mood, the woman in the yellow jacket smiles at you, but don't get so nosy when you talk to her boss. The man never smiles. He had the worst suffering sculpted on his face. She leads you under the roof under which you are afraid can rest, tethered with a cord or to a wooden post, near some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside, speak with our boss. Maybe you are hungry? The other ones take care of various chores. They pick at your mouth every now and then as they are splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making a rope. You head towards the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a bird from the other side of the yard. I open the door. I love the structures. If you're at an inn in the morning, you can spend the entire day on resting. Got it. What is this? Oh, 30 hours, 45 minutes before dusk. Day 1. Got it. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lights up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I have a keg of decent ale. Wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon. Today, maybe. We don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and the hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. I showed it. The planks let out a creak after every step you take, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go, he pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my pelt doesn't belong to Hoblaban. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We may have some left over from dinner, but I need to check. This is intimidating, friendly. Distance. I won't stay here for long, I introduce myself. He nods and fills another mug, this time with water. I guess there is no point in waiting for Asterion then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road only if they need to see the healers of Howl's Den, and they are more than resourceful. A road warden is always going to find work here in the north, though maybe not on the eastern road. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no guests here at the time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break. For a brief moment, he meets your eyes. I drink the ale. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The Lea in spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic liquorice ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there is so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you will help me with a worrying thought I have. Which is? There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike, but they have gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day, they may steal our furs, and I have no doubt there is the reason my merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howard's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you will get there sooner or later. Ask Thais, the mayor, about Glaucia, that bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I have heard rumors about a raid in the north. If Glaucia is ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them and get rid of her band. He looks at the nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I will pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? I know. Great! What else do you need? Could I eat something? Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our board. I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You will see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me bucketful. You will be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I will prepare something to feed you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long, curved claw, almost black. I reach for the tour. Half an hour? That's quite a lot of berry picking. I won't do that. Do I look like someone who... I will do that. The tools are cold, not too heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. Ah, the berries are not a problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes, better scare them away with a stick, or move them with a hook. And protect your hands, the little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Fine, I will go right away. I have other questions. Do you have anything you'd like to buy? Do you have... What did you have to say? I'm looking for Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. How are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be of much help. He rests his elbow on the table top and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But do you want to find him? But I do want you to find him, so... When asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, my half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist anxiously. If you get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I will make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be that Asterion stole the coins and ran away? He looks at the window and starts to play with a shutter. I just think Asterion ain't the kind of soul that will do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune, and I'd risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I have asked travelers. I have sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the box, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So, let me know once you find anything, and we may yet return to this whole investment thing. I will think about it. What can you tell me about the peninsula? I love the lore. What could anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name, unless there is an old book in an archive that no soul knows about it. You know what I do call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. He glanced at your eyes. But it's not us who hunt, keep that in heart, but the beast in all shapes and forms. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I have lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I have only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reasons to stay at the warm stove behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you have heard a lot already, that the people don't build hamlets anymore. There are no more ibexes from the south, and the traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. What will I find traveling west? Well, there are hills nearby. Then you will find a village, maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago, nothing to see there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it. And they say it's haunted, but who knows, who cares? He crosses his arms and stays to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You will get to a large tree, to the edge of a swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You are not used to hearing someone mention pagans as if there is nothing unusual about them. There is a small path south, which leads to an old mine in the mountains, nothing to find there. But keep riding north and you will find Howler's Dell, set at a clean brook. Farmers live there, and mounflons and druids. They will let you stay for the night, but they are not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to the Ape Ale Inn yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I know. I know only a bit about the next settlement, Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in their quarry and help other settlements with things in exchange for crops. The forest and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby, in the mountains. I don't care much about them. They keep to themselves and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me, White Marshes, set at a box. I have heard it smells like a griffin's lair. I have heard a lot of nasty rumors about the place, but I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So, 3 villages, really. Howlers, the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and Marshes. Don't let their beds and palace size fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if it's something he will tell other travelers as well. Are the eastern roads as rough as I heard? Pretty much. Don't leave the main road, I do say. Not so far from here you will find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend a night there, and monkeys stole food and gouts from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch, but you know. The eastern forests are wild, the roads are rough, almost no soul lives there. One day all these roads will be swallowed by the trees again. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Just stay on track until you reach the crossroads, right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You will recognize the place. It's a nice home in a lonely meadow, surrounded by a wall. He looks toward the closest window, then at you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without coating. She lives as a hermit, Eudocia. I don't even know how she survives there, but you don't have decent coin, you won't find much there. If you don't have decent coin, you won't find much there. So, back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you will see a road. People stay away from it. It connects the tower and the monastery, a shortcut between the two sides of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals not to use it. It already belongs to the beasts. Have you ever been to the northern coast? I only know about another inn. It's far from here, maybe a day on foot, a bit less from the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I have never been there, but I have heard it's a safe place, close to villages of fishers and hunters, though I don't know much about them. That's all I need. I didn't expect to find an inn of this size in a place such as this. Ah, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was well long before we arrived. It didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade, the villagers stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared. And now we are prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his finger through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn, but we don't rely on guests. We are the one doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest. In exchange for furs, claws, and bones, we get what we need, and more. Both from the south and the north. He relaxes in his chair. We have a good life here. We spend a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears, but in another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move to Hoblaban and not work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. It's surprising to find purple-skinned men so far in the north. I ain't seen a soul looking like this since my ma died, he shrugs. It's not a fascinating tale. Let's just say I wasn't a part of the invasion. Yet I'm glad I'm free of all those who were chained by the cities and their corsairs. He looks at the wall. I'm Yason, by the way, but rarely hear the name. Is there any good story behind the name's inn? I mean, there is a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For years, I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in my city, it will be in bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word were cheap, had a nasty reputation. There was the Claw, and Mugger, Basilisk, and Blissful, I think. The good places used at least two words, empty barrel, a rose, and a helmet, Empress smiled. Big Head was the exception. It was a real dive, he chuckles. In my soul, it is still just a pelt. Pelts are what we came here for, and what will make us reach our goals. About Glaucia's band. He frees observing your hand silently. He wants me to get the answer from Mayor of Hollower's Den. I'm on it. Any rumors worth shading? He crossed his arms. I don't like to talk about people who ain't nearby, but you know what you're doing. Who are you wondering about? Tell me about... to name people that you are interested in. Empress. Empress? Empress. What do you mean? Are you trying to find her? After all these years? He chuckles. The Empress is gone, and she will never be back. She's dead as shit. Oh. War. I don't know them. No. This is for journal. Quest humans. Asterion. Tulia. Tulia? Tulia. Tulia. I ain't seen Tulia in quite some time. Since her squad vanished in the fogs, she's been careful. Glad to know she's still alive. She's too inexperienced to lead others to battle, I think. She shrugs. Like most people, she needs to follow others. But she already knows that. There is nothing worse than a fighter so stupid to limit their ambitions. How about yourself? What about Yason? What about you, Yason? There is nothing you need to know about me to survive on the road. I'm Yason. I have been a city. Now I'm here. What else can we find? Journal, groups, bandits camp, herd of the forest, hunters from Peli, old pagos, what marshes, bestiary. Oh my god, there is so much to read! There is still more to learn about them. Holy moly, macaroni. Animal husbandry, family life, farming, fox, alchemy, necromancy, political and your drug woods. Jesus! Atheism, Adir, fellowships, order, pagan, spires, social, pneuma, spirit, tree dives. Wow! Just wow! This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Let's change it. That's all I need to go outside. You step outside. Roach is looking around. At this hour, the armory workshop is closed. I should go outside and forage for berries. The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look through the bushes for a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the fierce serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They are round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a color even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh and you make sure that thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. I gather the berries and go back to the inn. You have returned to the courtyard. Two of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their resting is accompanied by a crowd. I enter the inn. I put his fruits on the counter. Great! He peeks inside. Oh, good. He peeks inside the bucket. I have got cabbage too, with a few goose chunks for you. I'd serve it even the merchants if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. And like I have said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I have been cooking my whole life. Thanks. And how did that old hook of mine works out for you? I see you still have your hands. I'd like to buy it from you. I give him the hook back. I'm fine. He takes the tools from you and nods. Need anything else? I think I could rest. I mean, I could rest, or I could just go outside, but this is all the time I have for today, so thank you very much everybody for watching. I hope you have a blast. I was the Lost Chevalier, signing out. Bye bye.